Hi, I'm Steven Younger, and I'm a student at the University of Central Florida Physical Therapy Program. I'm here to talk to you today about some different techniques and ways to give instructions to patients on how to do different transfers, ambulation, and bed mobility techniques. The patient scenario that I've chosen is a patient with a cervical spinal fusion, a fractured left wrist, and a fractured right ankle, all resulting from a motor vehicle accident. This is a variety of injuries, so it's going to be important to follow the different precautions for each one of the injuries. First, starting at the neck, there's going to be spinal precautions. That means there can't be any bending, lifting, or twisting of the neck region. Next, moving down to the wrist, we will not be able to put any weight, so there are non-weight-bearing precautions on the wrist. So we're going to have to find some sort of way to get the patient to move their walker without putting weight on that wrist. And finally, the ankle is also non-weight-bearing precautions. This means that the patient cannot put weight whatsoever on their ankle. So we're going to have to find some sort of gait pattern in order to get this patient to ambulate without putting weight on their ankle. So with that being said, let's get started. So what I need to do while Jenny is still laying down is I need to make some measurements so as to fit her walker and her platform in the right position. So the first measurement I'm going to make with the tape measure is I'm going to go from the crease of her wrist all the way to the sole of her foot. So I'm going to do that. And that looks to be approximately 100 centimeters. Now to get the measurement from the platform all the way to the ground, I'm going to have to measure from the inferior part of Jenny's forearm all the way down to the level of the sole of her foot. So to do that, I'm going to have Jenny please hold the tape measure at 0. Thank you. We'll go all the way down here. And we are at 117 centimeters. Alright, so the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to bring Jenny, who is the patient, onto the far right side of the bed so we can put her over into a log roll onto her left side and then get her up to a sitting position. So what I'm going to do is I brought Ashley in to help me to assist Jenny so that she does not break her spinal precautions by bending or twisting her head. So I'm going to begin by moving Jenny's upper body. Ashley, if you could please just support her head, make sure there's no bending either side or front or back. So on the count of 3, we're going to move her upper body towards your right.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3. Thank you, Ashley.
Is that it?
1, 2, and 3.
I forgot what section.
I'm just going to segmentally go down her body, and now I'm going to move the legs. 1, 2, and 3. So now we're going to have to get Jenny to a sideline position. We're going to put her onto her left side because we don't want her right ankle digging into the ground because it has weight-bearing precautions. So what we're going to do first, we're going to put her left arm abducted 90 degrees all the way out to the side. Once again, Ashley's going to help me by stabilizing her head. Her injured leg over her left leg. Now we're ready for the roll. So on the count of 3, Ashley, we're going to go to the side. 1, 2, and 3. Now we have her in her sideline position. We're going to quickly, I'm going to cup her legs. And then Ashley's also going to be stabilizing. She's going to make sure no bending happens to that neck. So on the count of 3, we're going up. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. So what I have to do now is now that Jenny's in a supported position, she's able to support herself with her strong arm, and I have told her to make sure she does not put weight on this arm. So I've just told her to put it in front of her body. So what I have to do to make sure that she's safe during transfer and ambulation is to put a gait belt on her. So I'm going to grab that. And Jenny, just make sure you're holding yourself. I got you. Okay, so now that we have the gait belt on her, we're going to have to lower the table. Jenny, just make sure you do not put weight whatsoever on this ankle. I want you to lower this ankle onto the ground, though. Very good. What we're going to be doing, now that we have Jenny close to the ground, we have the wheelchair near her strong leg, because we're going to get her up using the walker, and with my help, putting no weight on this leg, and we're going to pivot her with the walker into the chair. So first I got to check and make sure the caster wheels are forward on the wheelchair, and I also am making sure that the wheel locks are locked. So So I'm going to get the walker over here, and once I get her standing up, I'm going to make sure that it fits by making sure that her arm's at a 90-degree angle. There's no hiking of her left shoulder, and that, of course, her right hand is at about the crease of her wrist. So I'm going to get this in front of her. And Jenny, I'm going to ask for you to put your left forearm up here. Remember, I don't want you to put any weight in this ankle. Now, if you can put your right arm on the handrail, I'm going to grab you by your gait belt. Do not put weight on this ankle. And I want you to put this leg back just a little bit. And you're going to push up on the count of 3 with your hand, your forearm, and your good leg. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Just after she stood up, I'm just going to make sure that she's fit fine. Her elbow's at a 90-degree angle. I see no up hiking of her left shoulder. And Jenny, if you can put your hand down the side, it's right at the crease. So the fit is perfect. So what we're going to do from here is we're just going to pivot in the walker. I want you to turn towards me.
Sorry.
Good. You can back up just a little bit. Bring the walker with you. Perfect. Until you hit your back of your leg against the chair. Good. Now I want you to reach down with your right arm to the wheelchair. You slowly lower yourself. Perfect. We have Jenny in her wheelchair. We're going to get her ambulating. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to get the wheelchair leg rest out of the way. Jenny, just remember, do not put any weight on your right ankle. Just hold it up. I'm going to get the walker. Just like we did the transfer from the bed, sit to standing, I'm going to do the same thing right here. But in this case, we're going to ask Jenny if she can shimmy her way to the front of the chair. Very good. And I'm going to ask you to put your left arm up here. No weight on this wrist. Right arm here. And on the count of 3, I want you to put your strong leg behind. Perfect. And you're going to be pushing up with this leg, with this hand, and with this forearm. Do not put any weight on this ankle whatsoever. Get your nose over your toes, and on the count of 3, we're going up. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. So now that we have Jenny standing, we're going to get her ambulating using a 3-point gait pattern. I'm going to be standing on the side of her weak leg and supporting her at the shoulder with my right arm and with the gait belt on my left arm. And Jenny, with the 3-point gait pattern is you're going to move the walker forward and you're going to step through with your good leg. Good. Walker, good leg, walker, good leg. You need to make sure that they're stepping to and not stepping through and swinging their leg. So at this point, we're going to turn around. We're going to turn around on her. We're going to pivot on her strong leg. So Jenny, you're going to counterclockwise rotate to your left. Good. Slowly. Now you do the 3-point again. The walker, your good leg. Walker, good leg. Good. Get right up close to the chair. And do another pivot to your left. Now I want you to back up. So after we've done a full pivot, I'm going to make sure that the caster wheels are still forward and the brakes are locked. And Jenny, if you can just shimmy your way down backwards so your back of your leg touches the chair. Perfect. And if you can put your right arm on the wheelchair, and then put your bad leg out front, and then slowly lower yourself. Very good. And then shimmy your way back to the back of the chair. And we're all set. So I hope you've enjoyed your experience today learning how to transfer and ambulate a patient with a cervical spinal fusion, a fractured left wrist, and a fractured right ankle. This has been a great experience for me, and I hope it has been for you too. Until next time, this has been Stephen Younger.